Hi, everybody. We are live and we are super excited because this is the premiere of the Prosperous Entrepreneur, our brand new Passionistas TV show starring the gorgeous and wonderful Claudia Cordova Rucker. And so Claudia has asked us to be here today so that we can talk with her a little bit about the plan for her show, what it's all about, what you can expect in upcoming episodes. So Claudia, welcome to your show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
We're
And
so excited
thank
you're
you
doing it.
for inviting me to the sisterhood. It really came at a really great time, and to be able to provide a space for women to feel comfortable talking about money and success and well-being, and how do they put all that together in really practical terms. And then, we sprinkle a little bit of woo in there. But in practical terms, I'm really excited to be here to open up that safe space to talk about money.
We are so glad you're doing it.
Yeah. I love that you talk about money, but from a personal growth and wellness place, because I don't think most people think of them in the same breath.
Yes, that was a process. That was a learning. I definitely used to tie money to my worth and success in life, and I think that that is at the point that I had my awakening moment, which I like to today kind of call it the growth ceiling wake up call. Um, at that point, up until that point, it really was like my success was tied to how much revenue my business actually could generate. It wasn't even tied to what was in my bank account, because at that point, I was stuck in entrepreneurial poverty where I was time poor, energy poor, money poor, and basically growing a business, scaling a business to over $1 million and going broke in the process, which seems kind of crazy if you think about it, because there's so much hype out there. And I'm not speaking ill of anyone, the like 1 million, $1 million, everybody should be a millionaire. And I feel like, yes, and yes, and that doesn't have to be the only narrative out there when it comes to money. To me, money doesn't have to come at the cost of my mental health, which, as you guys know, in the pinnacle of my success, getting an award, being inducted into the $1 Million Club here locally through Women's Economic Ventures. I really was at the point where my business had become so complex, and the money piece was just I was to get the money piece. I was at odds with my values, and I think I just kind of didn't know where to turn, and that's what I want to provide, is a safe space for people who are trying to figure out that issue, connect all those dots about money, people, profit, prosperity, all of these things. How do they kind of fit all together? And that's the beautiful exploration that we're going to cover here. So you don't have to basically relive what happened to me, which is, you know, waking up one morning and just thinking, God, the easiest way out of this complexity is probably going to be not to be here as a person. And I talk about that honestly, because there was a study by UC Berkeley. 76% of entrepreneurs suffer from mental health issues, and it's a stigma. So I think we don't necessarily talk a lot about it, but if you are have the group of support where with other entrepreneurs, you will start to understand that a lot of them, I think QuickBooks did a study, it's like over 80% of entrepreneurs can't think about money issues when they're in bed, probably like at 3:30, right? When our brain is like,
Right.
something about that 3:30 mark is like when you wake up. And that's what a lot of my clients tell me is like, um, I'm thinking about money in the middle of the night when I wake up, and I can't go back to sleep because of the stress. So, there's really um, practical things that you can put in place. There's skills and knowledge that we'll share here, and then we'll talk about sometimes some boring stuff like risk management and insurance. All these wonderful practical things with the guests that I'm going to be bringing on. So from banking all the way to risk management, we'll cover the gamut of these things here.
That's fantastic. So tell us about some of those guests. Give us a sneak peek of some of the people that you're going to have on the show.
Yeah, so I have a wonderful friend. We went to college together. He was my RA, and he went on to become the lead risk manager for Dun and Bradstreet. And so he has his own insurance company called Metropolis, and we recently worked on a project for that's called Insurance Essentials. And this was spawned by a conversation that he had had at a cocktail party in New York with the Center for Women. I think it's Women Minority Business Enterprise Agency in New York. And what they said is that a lot of BIPOC business owners had struggled with the insurance piece when they came and applied for RFPs with the county or with the city, with government agencies. And so Tommy took it upon himself to build this really wonderful quiz, I will say, that basically you take it and it will give you a risk analysis, and it will tell you what type of insurance policies you should be purchasing. And then he said, yeah, that's very nerdy and not very many people are coming onto the website. And I said, well, why don't we create a small course where you give them the risk analysis, but then we create videos that very high level teach entrepreneurs what each insurance category actually, what kind of risk it's covering. But it's at a very, very high level so that people, when they go to their insurance agents who don't want to teach them, they just want to transact, they have at least a baseline understanding of insurance to be able to have a conversation with their insurance agent. And then he does office hours as part of this course that we build out together, so people can get more nuanced advising and consulting and not have to pay a large amount of money for it. Yeah, so that's one of our guests. Another one of our guests is going to be a local banker that I have. She's my friend, and she's going to talk to us. She's called the Money Doctor here locally. Oh, well, this is live. You get to hear Dixie, my Jack Russell mix. So we're going to be talking to the Money Doctor, which is Ali Ortega, and she is a local banker here. And really, how do you form a relationship with a banker, and why is it important? My relationship with her actually was one of the reasons why I was able to still have a business after COVID, and I was able to sell it because she walked alongside with me during the PPP loan challenges that I was going through. And I want people to know that, yeah, sometimes we want the whistles and bells of like these bigger banks that we go to, but I want them also to know that relationship banking is still alive and well. It's still a beautiful partnership, and a banker should be on your financial well-being team. So those are two of the guests. I will also have my mentor, Maida Peleus. She is a kick-ass CPA, and she's going to come talk to us about financial fitness and why it's so important to be financially fluent, and the importance of tax strategy and what tax strategy is and how entrepreneurs can really use it to help build wealth. So those are a couple of the guests that I'll have on.
That's fabulous. So viewers will also be able to get advice. So explain to us a little bit about that process and how you how you envision that working.
Yeah, so one of the main reasons why I said yes to the TV show and to being part of the sisterhood is, um, I don't know if have you guys ever read the book, Are You My Mother? Are you familiar with Are You My Mother?
No.
No, it's a children's book and it's this, I think it's Dr. Seuss if I'm not mistaken,
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's this little, you know which one I'm talking
Yep,
about,
now I
right?
know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Yep.
Where
Yeah.
he thinks everybody is his mother and then at the end his mother actually comes and feeds him. But I felt like that little chick as I was scaling my business.
Mhm.
I would go and ask people, like I remember the CPA, my mentor. I went to her and I said, I really need some help. And she said, I'm not your bookkeeper. And then the bookkeeper would say, I'm not your CPA. And so it was really kind of difficult for me to understand how a financial well-being team is important and a financial management system. And even though I am a business development consultant, I always come back to the money piece because without the money piece, without the margin, there is no mission. And for us here in the sisterhood, where we're growing passion businesses, this is a lot about our life purpose, and we're trying to figure out that kind of how do I live my life purpose and passion, but how am I profitable at this? And I feel like there's a lot on marketing, there's a lot on sales, there's even a lot on processes. But where I feel like there's not a lot of accessible information or people who are willing just to give you, hey, this is your next step without transacting with them, advice. And I feel like that's really what I wanted to bring to the sisterhood is, hey, I'm curious about money or I'm curious about insurance. Where do I go to get this information? And how do I use it to mindfully scale my business?
Yeah, it's
Because
so
we're all
helpful.
about that.
Yeah, it's so helpful because I do feel like, and they're all really important components. Like we know people who talk about investing your own money in for
Yes.
your future. We know people who talk about, taxes. We know people who talk about venture capital. But it is hard to find people who can talk about the financial well-being of your own
Mhm.
company. And I
Yeah.
love that you do that. And I also love that you talk about, you touched on this earlier, the concept of entrepreneurial poverty.
Mhm.
And I know that's gonna be a core part of everything you discuss. So can you explain that more so that people understand what that is and what you're doing to help people get past.
Yeah. Thanks for asking that. So the way that I see business is it's a simple equation, right? Profit is a simple equation. It's money coming in through sales, money going out through expenses, and what's left over is profit. And we're basically investing all of our, like as entrepreneurs, especially purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Again, like this people in the sisterhood, right? We're investing all of our time and energy. And we do talk about time and energy. We do talk about time and money as resources. But I think where we fail to like really see um, there's a resource that's so important, more important than money and time, and that's your energy. And we end up spending all of this time, money, and energy into our businesses, but without the financial piece of it and the operation and financial piece of it kind of coming together, at the end of the day, we could end up time poor, energy poor, and money poor. And so it comes at a very big a cost to us. So in that awakening moment that I had, one of the epiphanies that I had is that I didn't really understand um, up until I turned 50 the value of energy and time. And then that awakening moment happened at my 50s because I woke up and I was like, shoot, I've spent 20 years growing this business, but I haven't built an asset to sell. And it's not providing enough profit for me in this moment to be able to invest in my retirement. And so the awakening moment, besides the complexities of the business, it was like, oh shit, I have sorry, I have spent all this time, but I'm not thinking about the safety and security of my future. I'm kind of just stuck here trying to figure this out, but I'm not really making decisions for the financial security of my future. And I think that that's what I want to also bring is how do we grow a business smartly so that we can build wealth, right? So and I'm about the paradox of enough, which is what is enough, right? There's a certain point where more doesn't equal better,
Right.
but figuring out that piece is so important because I'm also about mindful scaling, being present to the beauty of life today and not stuck driving something that at the end of the day I lose out on, what's important and valuable. So beyond ordinary business is basically my advocacy work. I just do it through my business. And really my purpose is to create the spaces where people can evolve in harmony. And so that's where you see the personal growth kind of piece come in. And I'm trying to figure out this really complex way of it's complex. There's a lot of dots that have to be connected, but everything gets you to the point where you have enough today. You're not totally oblivious of the future, but you're doing it in a way where you can be present. You're running a business where you can be present to the delight of the moment. And that happens through a lot of planning and having a business ecosystem, which the financial well-being team is part of. And these are all the things that we walk through in Beyond Ordinary Business in the group program. It's a 9-month program to build all of the financial structures and business infrastructure to be able to mindfully scale a business as you grow it. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I just also want to be clear because when I hear things like building a team and
Mm-hmm.
building a business, I think big numbers and I think
Yeah.
lots of people and a team. So I just want to make sure it's clear to people that this is for a solo entrepreneur as well, that a team doesn't mean your
Yeah.
employees and people that work for you. It's the people that you surround yourself with, right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you for clarifying that. And I am a solopreneur right now. But I do have a team. I have a financial well-being team. I have a CPA. I have a business lawyer, a banker, a financial planner that I work with. So that's part of a business lawyer. That's all part of my financial well-being team. They are invested in Beyond Ordinary Businesses success. So even though they're not working in the business, they are working alongside with me to grow the business and make sure that I'm growing my wealth. And I'm doing it in a pretty strategic way. I do have what I like to call an integrator. She is a virtual COO. And so if I'm the visionary, she is my operational partner. And I feel like for solopreneurs, that is, let me explain it to you this way. I'm the right side of the brain, right? And she is the left side of the brain. I think that's what you guys have in your sisterhood, right? I mean, in this beautiful relationship that you have. I can't do it all, even if I'm a solopreneur. So even when I can be the integrator to other visionaries, I can't do that for myself. So I have this wonderful woman. Her name is Laura Ann, and she is the left brain person. She's the one that kind of keeps me on task. But it it can mean anything that you want it to mean. Whatever is going to work for you. But at the end of the day, even if we're one, we are in community with other people.
Right.
Well, I know I, for one, will be tuning in to every
Thank
episode
you.
because I need all of this information. Every time we talk to you, I learn so much, and I learn it in a way that is not scary, or uncomfortable or makes me feel overwhelmed. And so I always appreciate that about you. But as we're wrapping this up, I wanted to ask you to just tell everybody why you want them to tune into your show and what you hope that they're going to take away from it when they watch?
Yeah, I really want um our I want the women in our community to just not to have a space to feel safe to ask questions.
Mhm.
And I think with over, I first started my first business when I was 16. We talked about the organic chicken business, right? Which is hilarious. But yeah, I at 16, I have a lot of experience and knowledge. And if I don't have that, I know where to go find it. And I feel like I want women to have a safe place to ask any kind of question. It doesn't mean that and get resources or get someone that kind of holds their hand and says, hey, I see you, I hear you, and you matter. And just because you don't know this right now doesn't mean that there isn't somebody that wants to share with it without having to exchange money, if that makes sense to you.
Yep.
Because I know that there's a lot of, I want to sell my course, right? I want to be prosperous as a business owner, but also I feel like one of my values is generosity, and this is a place where I can practice it, where I know that I'm with people who believe the same thing that I do, have that same generosity, and believe in living their purpose and bringing meaning to their life. And so that's really what I wanted from this show, was a safe place for people to experience generosity, to experience community, and yeah, and to have interesting conversations. um, Sometimes they'll be really nerdy and sometimes they'll be funny, like the organic chicken farm, right?
It's a good story. You have to tune
Yeah.
into the next episode to hear that. I'm not giving that away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Claudia, we are so excited that you're doing this. We know it's going to help so many people. You have helped us beyond belief. And so everybody knows to stay tuned to Claudia's show. Keep an eye on the calendar, or the premium calendar if you're a premium member. She's going to be doing it quarterly. So if you keep an eye on that calendar, you'll be able to see upcoming episodes, when they're coming, and who the guests are, and how you can join to watch. And we will be keeping you up to date. In the meantime, Claudia is a Power Passionista, so you can
Mhm.
always find her in her space for premium members, or drop her a DM, or just share something and share anything that you want to ask her and tag her in it. And I know she'll be around to chat with you. But Claudia, this show is going to be amazing, and we
Thank
really
you.
all need it. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for doing
Thank
it.
you. And we do have that workshop coming up
Yes.
Yes.
also. So if you kind of want to figure out if you want to kind of dive, skim the surface of how do you figure out as a solopreneur, especially, like what's my sweet spot of like time and energy, right? And then how do we break that up into like revenue, and then from there, how do you figure out how much you need to pay yourself, right? So we're going to explore all of that, those steps on how to figure that out in our workshop.
Yeah, it's
Excellent.
going to be amazing. And that's in the calendar too. So go
Yeah.
check out the calendar section and you'll see that there, and you can RSVP so we know you're coming. And any other questions for Claudia and Ann?
I do not have any other questions for Claudia. I'm so excited about this show, and I know it's going to be so helpful to all the women in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia.
All
Love you.
right.
All
Bye-bye.
right.
Love you
Bye,
too. See
Claudia.
you in the sisterhood.
Yay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was awesome.
Excellent. I guess Amy
Yes.
left. All right.
Okay.
So
Well, thank you guys.
thank you so much. That was so awesome. And we will follow up about the workshop, and we'll see you for that next week.
Yes, absolutely. I was wondering, I wanted